It's always the intersection between an unsurmountable obstacle and a purpose-built team that unites a group into a brotherhood able to overcome that challenge. For many, this happens in an instant of unfortunate circumstances, but for us, we earn this family one small difficulty at a time. We decided early on that this was an expedition not built on the purpose of glorifying ourselves, but for the opportunity to achieve our goal for the brother standing by our side. We set out to embark on the last horse-powered expedition over the Oregon Trail in nearly 150 years. Okay, a quick recap on what happened last time. We officially started our way down the Oregon Trail, made it about 10 miles and ran into an interesting fella who had slid off the road. Pushed our way through the slip, or should I say pull. Wilkie said an emotional goodbye to his grandma from the trail. We made it to and through the John Day River, over and down into Dust Valley, and almost made it out when this happened.
We hit a big ass rock and the tire looks like it's cocked and there's a big ass bubble on the tire.
The cloud cover cooling the morning air gave way to the hot sun of eastern Oregon's high desert, and as we traveled down our path, the dust and high grass began to erase the already faint trail ahead. We spun around back towards our missed turn and in the right direction, but JP, the last in our wagon train, hit a basketball-sized rock buried below the surface of the dry meadow.
That was a big rock. That was a big rock. I didn't see that rock.
You guys got going?
We hit a big ass rock and the tire looks like it's cocked and there's a big ass bubble on the tire.
Coming over.
Check. Kind of basic river, maybe the ridge.
So we had to do a little reroute, and there was a rock, and JP and the Forerunner and Zach were in the back, and it was kind of hidden. So Dusty just blended in, and he's got a big bubble in his tire now, which isn't good, and it looks like his camber's off a little bit. We don't know if that's right now because of the possible little incline, or if there's some suspension component busted. So we're trying to narrow it out right now and figure it out. Hopefully, best case scenario, it's just a tire. We'll throw the spare on and keep going. But yeah, it was bound to happen at some point.
Did the tire hit it or the suspension?
The tire.
It's got a big bubble.
Well, I don't know which one.
You want to get the brake out then? Shake that steering arm. Yeah, that steering arm is on. It's a total.
I mean, it's still, the camber's still way off, but it's turning with it.
Well, not. Come forward and turn your wheels to the driver. Turn it to the passenger. I mean, let's limp it back. Let's take it easy. We'll get back to the road. We've got a few miles, so we'll just make sure every once in a while radio check in if you don't hear from us. Dude, I was hoping we wouldn't be out here in the middle of nowhere with a breakdown. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you hit a big rock like that, and you never know what could happen to the suspension. Yeah, all right. Break tie rods, U-joints. Yeah. Fortunately, it looks like we can limp it back at least to the road, and we'll get on some flat ground and take another look. In the meantime, we'll just kind of keep an eye on it and see if it feels funny. So, all right, let's 1, 2, 3, break.
In any given situation, there's countless ways to approach it, with just as many outcomes. What direction you choose is likely based on the factors that are most pressing. We had a vehicle in distress, Jesse and JP needed to get home, and the team had to continue in spite of these factors. We decided to limp the Forerunner back to the closest town and take the expedition offline for the day. So we headed into Heppner, Oregon, population 1,500, with enough hospitality to charm sugar from a lemon.
Well, Les Schwab, they pretty much told us I have to get something fixed. It looks like a blower control arm that has to be replaced. We're stuck at this point. We're going to spend a night in a reservoir a few miles up the road here and see if they can fix it in the morning. These guys will continue on and do the expedition, and that's part of the game, and they can continue their path to Independence, Missouri.
We found a little slice of heaven tucked up alongside a Willow Creek reservoir outside of town. It'd been one of those days that tests your patience. One of those days when adventure lived up to its nature, putting to task your ability to push forward as the settlers did before us. We had our own set of challenges to overcome to complete the thousands of miles ahead of us, and we'd leave our brothers behind tomorrow. But for tonight, we put our troubles aside and listened to the chatter as we spoke anxiously about the days to come.
We're leaving good old friends from Les Schwab. Justin has been a huge help, and Brian this morning as well. But so shout out to Les Schwab here in Heppner, Oregon. You guys have been awesome. And unfortunately, it kind of feels like we're leaving a couple fallen soldiers behind. Jesse and JP.
Thanks, man.
We're taking off. We're gonna head back out towards Ukiah, get to some more forest, and we're gonna try and cover some ground and hit it hard. So JP, Burns, we love you.
All right, man. Well, I'm glad you got to come with us, brother.
Good.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. It's nice to meet you.
Love you, man. Keep us posted.
Brother, buddy.
Burnsy, love you, brother.
Go get him, brother.
I'll talk to you soon.
It's day 4, it's 11 o'clock. We're leaving Les Schwab here in Heppner, and we're gonna head out to Ukiah and get back on track. So I had a small detour, had a really good breakfast, now we're ready to rock and roll.
The dynamic of a team always changes as the group loses members. We try to equalize the unbalance with jokes and conversation, but it takes time to right a ship after its ballast has been shifted. So began the slow turn as we pointed our vessels east, rebalanced our team, and headed toward Umatilla National Forest. It was an area we visited last year that had been devastated by wildfires, and we were anxious to see how nature reclaimed its burnt landscape.
So last year we were here in this forest, and as you can kind of see behind me, it was pretty devastated from forest fire. And when we came through this area, it was still on fire. The fire was contained, but there was still, stumps smoldering, and occasionally you'd see in the distance a fire roar up and kind of like catch fire and then die out. It was eerie to be in a forest that had just been on fire. Just the smell of everything, and then to come back a year later and to see it now, and how a lot of it's already started to grow over and the forest has already started to repair itself. It's kind of a cool full circle kind of a thing. It's neat to see how nature just kind of takes its course.
Everywhere we looked, the forest was starting to take back the burnt terrain we saw last year. As eerie and desolate of a scene as it was before, the life growing now was a testament to nature's ability to rebalance itself. We moved through the forest trails, taking in the experience as we explored an area that last year was inaccessible due to heavy tree fall from forest fires. So we continued on, hopefully optimistic of the coming miles of unfamiliar terrain.
So last year we were trying to come this way, and there was a big tree that had fallen at the bottom of where we are now. Anyway, tight fit right here. Anyway, so it prevented us from going through here.
On the right.
And so this year that tree was gone, and this has been a very beautiful, intense climb. Just steep and rutted out and rocky, overgrown with grass all at the same time. We're just going about 10 miles an hour crawling, and we just finally plateaued. But bummer that we couldn't came through last year, but I'm glad we got to this year because this is some really beautiful scenery and really awesome trails.
Part of running trail and kind of going by your own route is running into trails like you see up here. That's pretty overgrown, and we're not sure if it goes through. It's marked as a National Forestry road, but it definitely doesn't look like it's been maintained in a long time. So Chris is running up ahead to kind of see if it opens up at all or if it just keeps closing in. In the meantime, I'm trying to figure out a reroute for us so we don't have to go all the way back to the highway. So we'll see what happens. To be continued.
So we're okay, but
So it goes back?
keep going. That's my bad, you guys. There's no way I can figure that one out. Well, we are plotting our way through this burned out forest. We're on a track from a new track we haven't been on ever before, obviously, and we got a lot of burned out trees in our way. It's getting dicey. We got big rocks, and yeah.
Chris, you're getting murdered.
I'm getting pummeled over here,
Dude,
Oh wow.
we need somebody to run up ahead to see if it.
Yeah, I got my radio. Let me do it.
Okay.
It looks like it gets a little clearer up here. It's just this patch of trees. Oh, never mind. There's another forest grove in the trail up here.
Our path wouldn't always be clear, but our goal was. Our journey wouldn't always be easy, but the rewards would be worth it. See, sometimes the fondest memories have to be suffered for. It's often the things that we work and toil over that leave the longest lasting impressions. We were here for the experience in its entirety, and we'd take no excuses. We'd give it all we had and leave nothing on the table. This was just as much a personal challenge as it was our one shot to show homage to our forefathers. So we'd band together, push through, and bend a knee in respect to the pioneers that truly suffered and gave it all so we would have the life and opportunities they never would. I've got high hopes for day number 2, filled with adventure, peril, and tribulation. I got nothing.
So yeah, Steve keeps putting his sandals where I put my sandals, and it's really bothering me. Really bothering me, Steve. Yeah. I think we need a household meeting.
Household meeting.
Like the real world.
I know, right?
I spent all my rent money on drugs. I don't know what to do. Don't know what to do.
The real world.
Tonight on the real world John Day.
Are you good?
Rolling? All right. I mean, can't we just get paid to do this? I mean, is it that hard? Somebody's got to pay us to do this. You should. It's good video. Get a lot of sponsors, make a lot of money. All right, where's the stop button on this piece of... I have no idea.